again, question A, state the range of f. So f is this square root that would go from -1, and that would be 1. However, it has a restricted domain, so the domain of f is 0 to infinity, which means that the graph will start there. So the range of f is 1 to infinity. Okay, find the largest possible value of c that makes the range of g a subset of the domain of f. So it's got to fit inside this. So the range of g has to be a subset of this. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a quadratic. So I'd like to complete the square. Half of 4 is 2, 2 squared is 4, minus 4 plus 3. X plus 2 all squared minus 1. The reason I wanted to complete the square is I wanted to know what it looked like. So it has a turning point at -2 and -1. And it goes through at 3. And if I crisscross this, I get x, x, -3, -1, +3, +1. Therefore, that's -3 and that's -1. So I want the range. This is going from -infinity up to c. I want the range. The range of this has to be a subset of 0 to infinity. So I want it to be up to and inclusive of this point here. Therefore, the domain has to be -infinity to -3, so that its range is 0 to infinity. So c equals -3. If I start looking at part C, I want f of h of x, and if I put h inside of f, I've got the square root of f is this one, so the square root of x, which will be x squared plus 3 plus 1, 4. That's what f of h of x is by putting h inside of the f function. Just to double check to make sure that this composite exists, the domain of f is 0 to infinity, the range of f is 1 to infinity. That's taken from the first part of the question. The domain of h is all real numbers, and h will be a parabola that's been moved up 3 units, so its range is 3 to infinity. For this to exist, the range of h has to be a subset of the domain of f, and the range of h does fit into the domain of f, so it's all good. So for f of h of x, its domain will equal the domain of the inside, which is h, which is all real numbers. So I've got to think about what does this look like for all real numbers. Now, it's not one of the functions I know, so what I'd like to do is to sub in some numbers and get an idea. When x is 0, it's going to be up here at 2 because the square root of 4 will be 2. When x equals 1, it's going to be 1 plus 4 root 5. And when x equals -1, it's also going to be root 5. And when x is equal to 2, it's going to be 2 squared, which is root 8. And -2 is going to be root 8. So I can see that my curve is going to look like that. Therefore, the range will be 2 to infinity inclusive of 2.